Hey guys, Franklin Charles here with Empower Leadership. And welcome to another great day. And I trust that you are maximizing your potential and living out your purpose and living the empowered lifestyle. I'm here today and I'm so excited. I have another opportunity, another week to share with you empowered strategies that will add to your growth and help you to continue to thrive in your vision. Whether it be a church, a business, an enterprise of any kind, or you have a personal pursuit as an individual and you just want to grow. But I'm so excited to share what I have with you today. Listen, growing is not an easy thing. And anybody tell you it is, they're probably still growing themselves. But it takes an opportunity for you to gather the information, and as you do so, you will find that growing is definitely an exciting journey. And that's what I'm here to do today. I want to make your journey even much easier. Today I want to share on a very interesting topic. I want to share a little bit on vision, but I also want to share on the components of how you continue to allow whatever it is that you're doing to continue to grow. You know, the destination of any church, any business, your own personal life is depending on the right knowledge. I love what Tony Robbins said. He said, life becomes better when you begin to ask the right questions. You know, the answer is always in asking the right questions and having the right knowledge. Knowledge in itself is not power, but it's applied knowledge. And today, I trust that the knowledge that I will give to you today will allow you to apply whatever it is that you're going after. Because you're destined to succeed. You're born to win. Hey, it's in your DNA. What is that? Success. You're made to be a winner. And I want to provide the information to help you to continue doing that. Also, I want you to go to our website or even message us to get some of our empowered merch. This is a water bottle I believe will definitely be an asset to you as you're jogging, exercising. I want you to invest in our merchandise. And also, maybe you want to highlight that you are definitely living the empowered lifestyle. You could also invest in our empowered t-shirts. 10 years ago, I wrote a book, and many of you that have actually received training from me in the last several weeks, you've been asking me, say, Franco, as I'm listening to you speak, you're giving a whole lot of quotes. Well, 10 years ago, my wife, Carol, really empowered me and encouraged me. Well, she's the one who invested even in getting this compiled and getting it done, this project of 130 plus quotes right here in this book. Just imagine every morning getting up, not knowing what to think about, because you need to fill your mind, right? The right mindset creates the right onset. In this book, I've compiled over 130 plus quotes, my personal quotes, that will keep you empowered. So again, go to our website, and right after this video, you can message me and say, hey Franco, I'd like to get that book because I need to really keep myself empowered. Or you like to get the water bottle or the t-shirt. So let's get into this today. You're building your vision, you're building a church, you're building a business, or even you have your own personal pursuit. Most of the time I'm asked the question, hey Franco, what is it that I need to do to go to the next level? I'm guessing and I'm believing that you're asking the wrong question. The question is not what do you do to get to the next level in your business, in your church, your personal life, your family, make more money. Always remember, you already have the resources. You already have the mindset. The question is not how I get it. The question is simply this: what are you going to do to get it? And life is not that we don't have the go-to or the want to, it's just that we're missing the components, the knowledge, the strategy. I always say life without strategy, you're living in illusion. Life without strategy, you're living in an illusion. Once you have the right strategy, have you noticed? Look at the 5 things that you wanted to do. Take a moment. Look at the 5 things you wanted to do. But the moment you got the knowledge or the information, you did it, didn't you? No, yeah, comment below and say, I did it. That's how life works. It's not about just wanting to do something or thinking you can do something. It's having the right components. Even when I go work with churches and businesses, I know it looked easy. Listen, if it was easy, everybody can do it. But it is easy if you have the right components. And of course, when we go in, it takes no more than 6 months to a year to 2 years. We can change our whole environment. I can build a team in less than 30 days. When I tell people that, they're like, oh man, you just bluff it. No, it's easy simply because you will build with the right components. So what are you saying, Franco? I'm here today to give you the right components. And the way you make vision easy, the way you make building your church easy, the way you make building your business easy, the way you make building your own self easy is having the right components. So I want you to write something down. There are two types of vision. There's divine vision and there is natural vision. Write that down. Divine vision, natural vision. They're all different, but I want you to understand one thing. Every person on this planet, 8.2 to 5 billion people on this planet, we all have the rights and the capabilities to have vision. But there are two visions. There are divine vision and there's natural vision. What is divine vision? Divine vision is a vision that strategically comes from God, where God gives you a strategic step for the future. And there's natural vision, where it's naturally innate in our nature. You dream of something and it happens. For example, Steve Jobs, that is a natural vision, but he has the innate nature, the ability to create something. Jeff Bezos, and the list goes on. Be able to create a global delivery of packages and supplies and things that needs to be delivered to you. Telephone, tech, industry, and the list goes on. Franco, what do you say? It is your responsibility to compile and to gather the right information around your vision if it's going to succeed, whether it's divine or whether it's natural. Here's why most people really don't succeed in their vision. I want to create this triangle right here. Here is the vision itself. Vision will always be something that is gifted to you. Anyone can have a vision. Say this with me one more time. Anyone can have a vision. You have a vision right now. You have goals, you have dreams, but I'm going to show you today in a simple formula how you can make your vision, whatever it is that you're dreaming, whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish, and you can have a better church, a better business, a better life. Am I making sense? Because it all comes down to the components. So here it is, you have a vision. Once you have a vision, vision is 3-dimensional. You are responsible to have the vision. You're responsible for what? To have the vision. That's the first thing. You're responsible to have the vision, have the details, knowing what it is that you want to do. You're not responsible to do the vision. Oh my goodness, write this down. And if you're a pastor, you need to hear this. You're not responsible to do the vision. You're responsible to have the vision. It's unfortunate that most time when a person has a vision, they think they need to do it. They think they need to do everything. They think they need to have everything in place. You're not going to have everything in place. When you have vision, you must now decide, hear me out, when you have a vision, your responsibility as a leader. Let me pause. This is only if you want to thrive in your business. This is only if you want to grow and thrive in your business, your church, your personal life. This is where most leaders make the mistake. You want to have the vision, but you want to do the vision, you want to control the vision, you want to do all kinds of stuff with the vision. What you just did is that you made no room for the individuals that will come into the vision. So now that you have the vision, you're responsible to share the vision. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? People ask me all the time, hey man, I noticed that when you decide to do something, it seems like it just comes together. Why? Because I'm applying the components. Vision respects components. Vision is guided by components. Quick story for you. In ancient times in history, it's been recorded by a young man, and his name is Nehemiah. While Nehemiah may not be an engineer, Nehemiah is not an architect, Nehemiah is not a foreman, he does not know how to construct anything. He works for the king and he works in his castle. He works in his kingdom. So in other words, he's been around government for a whole lot of time. He's heard things being developed. Nehemiah was a young man, and what was his employment? He was employed to be a cupbearer. No skills, no expertise, but he had a vision. A vision that came out of compassion because one of his brothers went back in his hometown, got the story, was updated, that the wall in Jerusalem was torn down. Nehemiah began to think, wait a minute, I have the vision. He had the vision, and when you read, as recorded in history, in Nehemiah chapter 4, I'll implore you to read chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you'll find what I'm sharing with you today is an actual formula. Nehemiah heard what happened in his hometown, grew in compassion, and he began to grow in what I like to call a divine vision. He got the vision. Now he's holding on to it. As Nehemiah began to compile and to strategize and put the components together, he went and he visited the city, which brings us to observation. You cannot build until you observe. Most people just build because they want it to look good. Remember, when you're building, you must know the components. Nehemiah, the vision is now in his heart. The leader's responsibility is to have the vision, make room for others, so now he's able to share the vision. So when Nehemiah went to his hometown, remember, no engineering skills, doesn't know how to build anything. His occupation was a cupbearer, which means he served the king. That's his job. No background in business, no skills, which brings me almost to say this. When you have vision, you will always be equipped with the education and the knowledge. It's amazing how it happens. It's amazing how it happens. So this is what makes building look easy. And this is what makes, when Carol and I are building something, we're not just building. You have to know the components, or else you will be doing things accidentally and not intentionally. Let's bring this to a close. So Nehemiah got the vision, he has it. The leader must have the vision. You must possess it. The next thing you do now is you share the vision. When he went to the city, he gathered a team. Oh, this is going to be interesting. And he was resilient. But he began to now investigate and attract individuals that have the capability, that have the skills. He didn't have to know how to lay bricks. He didn't have to know how to weld. He didn't need to know how to bring the supplies and all of that. He gathered himself with the people that he was about to share the vision with. And as he shared the vision to the capable people, let me pause by saying this. An effective and great leader will always surround himself with people that are capable of doing what the vision is required. That is why leaders cannot be insecure. Leaders cannot have short-sighted future for their organization. A leader should not walk in a place of intimidation, because when you begin to share the vision, you're sharing your vision with people that has the capacity to carry your vision and make it a reality. So let's bring this to a close. The leader has the vision, like Nehemiah. He's now sharing the vision. Now here's the final component. There is execution. Let's put the word motion. Let's put the word motion. When the leader has the vision, he shares the vision, then there is motion. I don't have time to go into another historic leader that made vision possible. And this person is called Habakkuk. But next week, I'll probably see if I can dive into it to share a little bit more of, some people say Habakkuk, some people say Habakkuk. But in Habakkuk or Habakkuk chapter 2, you will find the formula of vision. But once again, in my closing, I want you to get this before you go today. If you're a pastor and you have a vision for your church, your responsibility is to have the vision. That's it. I know that's a whole lot for most pastors to swallow, because they want to do everything. They want to be the lead. No, your responsibility is to have the vision. You're not responsible to be the usher, the greeter, the marketer. That is why security in the leader is very important, because you're about to share. I like to call it shared power. When a leader shares his power, you are ensuring that your vision becomes a reality. But if a leader is not confident in themselves, you're going to share at an extent of what you can control. But a leader has the vision, shares the vision, and what he shares becomes execution and motion, which leads to the reality of the vision. You will never have the reality of the vision if there is no motion. You will never have motion if you don't share it. You will never have shared vision if the leader doesn't have it. And in closing, here's what I want to leave with you today. If you're going to succeed in your vision, if you're going to succeed in whatever it is that you desire to do, you are responsible to create the environment where others that are coming in, that they can have your vision, share it, and have ultimately the success in making it a reality. And here's the good part. I didn't finish the story. When Nehemiah brought the team together with no skills, no engineering ability, had no idea what he was going to do. What would have taken Nehemiah, because he practiced this formula, and you can do it too. That's why I tell people all the time, it looks easy, because it is. But if you don't have the right components, it will literally burn you out. Nehemiah took it by having a vision, sharing the vision, creating motion in the vision becoming a reality. What would have taken him 5 years took Nehemiah 52 days, and he built the wall. Friends, this is Franklin Charles with Empower Leadership. If your church, your business, and even you yourself personally need any type of empowerment strategies, development, we're here to empower you and your team and your vision. I look forward to hearing from you next week. But before I go, I want to highlight a very, very interesting company that has been a great asset, growing, and for all of my Helix, Mosaic, and Vista partners, and those that are following us, I want you to know that Johnny on the spot, perhaps you're looking to move, you're looking to renovate, you're looking to take something to storage. I want you to hit that number right here, that's below the screen, right below the screen, right here, the number right here. And I need you to call Johnny on the spot. If you have any moving stuff that you want to take from one location to the other, they're integral, they're reliable, and they are fast. Johnny on the spot. Call them today. Guys, until next time, I'm out of time. See you next week right here at the Sky Lounge with Empower Leadership, Franklin Charles. Until next time, you stay